So let's go back in time, right? You're originally from Poznan.
Yeah, Poznan.
So how did it begin for you? How did you get involved with jiu-jitsu, and how did it all start?
So I started with traditional martial arts as a teenager. My parents actually put me in a Aikido, and we did some of like classic traditional jiu-jitsu as well, Japanese jiu-jitsu. But they put me there because I had that idea. My friends were big in the like live role playing thing where you like run in the forest and you have like a wooden sword and you fight with other people and you're like pretending like you're a fantasy character. And I'm a big nerd, so I'm like, yeah, I want to be a fantasy character as well.
They have like big world championships for those kind of
Yeah.
things. Where they could have
Yeah,
armor on, and they go
exactly.
with the sword. And
Exactly,
They'll
exactly.
travel all over the world for those things.
Yeah, so that was the thing I wanted to do, but my parents are like, we don't know if it's very safe to just go to the woods and fight with the wooden swords. So you know what? Let's take your energy and enthusiasm and let's maybe put it somewhere. Let's channel it towards like a better way, you know? And they put me in Aikido because the part of Aikido is like sword fighting and stick fighting. Yeah, so I had fun with it for a couple years. But you know, for me, it was like I was always a very competitive person, and it was hard for me to accept that there's no way to see if you're really good in what you're doing because you only practicing the form. So it's always like the tasks are assigned. So you're attacking, I'm defending, you're doing this, I'm doing that, and that's the end of the story. So when I was like getting to my 18 years old, it was harder and harder for me to accept that. And then I just decided, you know what, I'm gonna just go to Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, especially because some
At 18.
yeah, some friends of mine already started to train, so I'm like, all right, I have to get there as well. And from the first class, actually, it was like, this is it. This is kind of like the thing I wanna do, you know. And I stayed forever.
Yeah. Yeah. Wow. Wow. Yeah, I'm friends with Jacob, right? For is the Gracie Bahan in Poznan.
Yeah.
And yeah, wow, it's a small world. One of my really good friends, he travels out here. He was working for Pfizer. He was a younger guy, and he lived in Poznan as well. And he would always come out here every year.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah. I think I know the guy.
Philip?
He was training with us for a little while as well.
Yeah.
It's a small world. Jiu-Jitsu is a small world, and yeah, like everybody knows somebody who knows somebody.
Yeah.
Basically.
And then how did you get, like, I remember like going to the first tournaments, and just be like, just opening up the mind. What were the steps like, starting to compete and things like that?
So I started jiu-jitsu right before summer vacations, and summer vacations in Europe are usually very lazy period of time. There's not much thing going on in Europe during vacation. I mean, you can train obviously, but there's no competition in general. It's changing slowly, but back in the days it was nothing. So I just like spent the whole vacation like training 2 times a day and you know like having fun and kind of like preparing myself that once the season starts, I'm gonna start competing. And I went to my first competition, was like a very small one and local thing.
In Poznan?
No, it was like 100 kilometers outside of Poznan.
Okay.
And well, it wasn't very like good experience. I mean, it was a good experience, but I didn't feel that way at that time because I'm like I said, I'm very competitive, and I lost my first match, and it was kind of a close match. There was a lot of like scrambling, and I didn't understand the pointing system quite well, so I didn't know why did I lose, and yeah, but I lost the first fight. And obviously I was like, you know, very sad about it. But I kind of like
You were still a white belt?
yeah. Yeah, I was white belt. I was training like 6 months or so. And I'm like, all right, I'm going to do that again. So then I went to Polish Nationals and I won 4 fights and I got bronze. So, you know, like if you look back at it, like bronze, it's not the big thing. But just winning couple matches and getting that medal,
Getting the confidence.
gave me like a confidence boost. Like, oh yeah, you can win something. So yeah, let's just keep going. And like there is something about competition. It's like you're hating it and you're loving it. Uh, so it's like a bittersweet relationship.
Yeah.
Because it's a mixture of like stress and anxiety, but also like euphoria if you win. So it can it can be very addictive, and I think I got pretty addicted to that. And also I got this like collector syndrome. So when I started to win medals, I'm like, oh, I want more medals. I want to like grow my collection. Let's see where else I can compete. So throughout like white belt, blue belt, and purple, and basically brown as well, I was competing a lot. Like I was competing everywhere around the Europe, and I started to compete outside of Europe as well, like Abu Dhabi and Worlds. But yeah, I was very, very active, and I think it gave me like a lot of good experience because, well, we did some crazy trips. Like we've been going to like me and my friends. We took a bus and we drove all the way through the Germany, like 8 hours or 10 hours to a competition venue. We did one competition on Saturday. Right after competition, we went to the bus. We drove to Munich, like 5 hours or so. And on Sunday, we've been competing in another event.